The ambassador of Kazakhstan to Pakistan, His Excellency Erjan Kistafin, took part in a seminar organized by Pakistan in the World in collaboration with the Center for Pakistan and International Relations, COPER, dedicated to the cooperation between Kazakhstan and Pakistan and international initiatives of the country. In his speech, the ambassador of Kazakhstan spoke about the current agenda and relations between the two states.
After 30 years, I'm happy to say that in the middle of October, this year, we held the 6th summit of CICA platform, and this time 54 delegations participated in this event. It was one of the biggest events in the region, and 36 foreign countries as well as 18 international organizations were invited to this event, including Pakistan. And the main outcome of this summit is that the member states agreed to transform CICA into a fully fledged international regional organization. We believe that without a dialogue on security issues, it is extremely difficult to stabilize the situation in the region, and without security, it is extremely difficult to develop our economic cooperation. Security is a prerequisite to our economic cooperation, and it's well known that nowadays economic cooperation is a backbone of any partnership, be it in Asia, in Europe, or any other parts of the world. Going back to the CICA summit, at the sidelines of the CICA summit, your Prime Minister met with our President for the second time. The thing is that in September, at the sidelines of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization's summit, our President met for the first time with your Prime Minister. They discussed the broad range of issues that we have in terms of developing our bilateral cooperation, and they agreed that the very next month, this month in November, Pakistan would send a delegation from the government of Pakistan to discuss all the issues that we have in our agenda. And just last week, about 13 people from your government visited Astana. It was Minister of Industry, Minister of Petroleum, Chairman of the Board of Investment, Secretary of Commerce, people from Ministry of Railways, so on and so forth. So we held our sessions of joint working groups on trade, on transport, and on what is happening now in Ukraine. We believe that it's not the way we have to resolve conflicts that we have. Only a peaceful solution is the only way to first of all to maintain stability in the region, and secondly to develop our cooperation. We don't have any conflicts based on ethnic or religious basis. So this is why we believe that Kazakhstan can share our experience, our model of development, and we can disseminate this information about what can be done in terms of strengthening interreligious dialogue. Hopefully, inshallah, very soon we will launch direct flights between our countries. It's not about launching, actually, it's about relaunching. In fact, back in 90s, we used to have direct flights, and PIA used to operate those flights.
That is a big news.
Yeah, thank you. So hopefully somewhere in January or in February, finally, we will launch flights between our two brotherly nations, and we believe that direct flights are extremely instrumental in terms of boosting our B2B, people-to-people whatsoever. Pakistan, one of the youngest nations in the world. That's why we should pay very special attention to developing cooperation between our youth organizations, between our universities, developing sports diplomacy. I'll give you just, last example. Two delegations of Kazakh athletes recently participated in tournaments organized here in Islamabad. Beginning of December, we expect a delegation from the Ministry of Education to visit your beautiful capital. We will be meeting with the Ministry of Science and Technology, with the Higher Education Commission, because in terms of our cooperation in this field, I see that we need to reactivate agreements that we used to sign about 20 years ago in science and technology and education. We are planning to approve joint action plans for next 2 years to identify possible areas for developing collaboration. In the mid of December, hopefully inshallah, for the first time, Speaker of the Majlis of our parliament, it's a lower chamber of our parliament, will be visiting your beautiful capital, and it will be the very first visit of such a high level from our parliament. About 20-25 members of our parliament is going to be here in Islamabad from December 11th to December 13th. And we are planning to, actually they're visiting your capital upon the invitation of the Speaker of the National Assembly, His Excellency Raja Pervez Ashraf.
Describing them as dynamically developing, he informed the participants that about the 7th Congress of Leaders of World and Traditional Religions and the 6th CICA Summit held in the capital of Kazakhstan this autumn, in which Pakistani side participated at high level of government. Mr. Kistafin talked about the results of the meetings between the President of Kazakhstan, Mr. Tokayev, and the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Shehbaz Sharif. Both leaders met during the SCO and CICA summits. Besides, the ambassador spoke about the political reforms implemented by President K. Tokayev, the main task of which is the democratization of Kazakhstani society and political system liberalization. He also spoke about the early presidential elections scheduled for November 20 this year. For their parts, Ms. Amna Malik, co-pair president, and Mr. Khalid Mahmood, former ambassador and co-pair chairman, highly appreciated the international initiatives of Kazakhstan, ongoing reforms, and the efforts of our countries aimed at strengthening both bilateral and multilateral cooperation in the region of Central and South Asia.
So we can promote the positive image of Kazakhstan, and we can also join hands together in the form of series of roundtables. But I believe we are having very strong cultural ties. And people-to-people contact, I believe it is still needs to be further improved and developed. I believe our students can go to Kazakhstan, and from Kazakhstan the students can come to Pakistan. We can plan in summer some kind of internship program for the students over here. Just like Pakistan, it is having a geostrategic importance for the Central Asian states, but also for this entire region. And we can engage the women associations. The women association can also play a very important role. I met one of the outstanding women of Kazakhstan. I'm really impressed. They are, showing their marks all over the world. And we would like them to invite them to Pakistan. We should meet them. Your parliamentarians are very active. I'm sure there is a parliamentarian friendship group, but we can also invite them in the private capacity. Kazakhstan was a great support during our full membership for Shanghai Cooperation Organization. I would like to say this, that today this activity is linked with our regional connectivity relationship between the two countries, how two countries can play important role in this regional connectivity, and how Kazakhstan and Pakistan can further improve these relations. CICA summit, which held in Astana, our Prime Minister participated in this and met many important other head of the states. So we would like to know about this conference on interaction and confidence building measures in Asia.
That at political level, excellent relationship, as you said. And I'm witness to that, because whenever I attend any international conferences, we always see complete harmony in our policies, and we help each other. But as you have already pointed out that there are certain lacunas, and that is limited economic relationship and little people-to-people contact. So these are the two, as I said, deficiencies in otherwise very close ties between our two countries and people. And happily, the leadership in our two countries is aware of this, and they are taking many, initiatives to overcome these deficiencies.
Editor Mr. Tazeen Akhtar noted the important role of diplomatic missions in strengthening cooperation between the fraternal countries, Pakistan and Kazakhstan. Very interesting coincidence is, as you have shared, that Sargodha Chamber of Commerce and Gujarat Chamber of Commerce delegations are visiting Kazakhstan. So, Madam shared that she belongs to Sargodha city. So I share that I belong to Gujarat city. So before starting my points, I will also, another good news I have to share, that I am, most often I criticize Madam Amna for some things that should be corrected in her media group and in her overall setup. But first time I am very happy to see the name of Ambassador Khalid Mahmood on the panel as chairman. I think it is a very welcoming, and you have selected a very right person for the right job, and I look forward to work with Ambassador Khalid Mahmood as well. We have seen him, we have listened him, heard him at the Islamabad Strategic Institute many times. As long as Pakistan and Kazakhstan are concerned, Ambassador rightly pointed out that this year and the next year will be very eventful. And I was just sharing with the ambassador while coming upstairs that what ambassador have accomplished in 5 months, that is equal to 5 years. SCAT Airlines is the airline of Kazakhstan that will initiate the flights between Almaty, Karachi and Lahore. Now if you see the map, you will see that we have only, I think, not more than 2 hours flight from Islamabad to Almaty. So we are very near, and we can build a direct communication. The easiest way of connectivity, the easiest, fastest is airlink. We also, we will write and we will exert pressure and we will build opinion among Pakistani authorities as well, that Pakistan Airline or any private airline can also reciprocate in the same manner. Nuclear, I will state something definitely. All the nuclear experiments the former Soviet Union conducted at the lands of Kazakhstan, and after the independence, it was the sole decision of Kazakhstan leadership that we do not need nuclear, and they just eliminated all the weapons, and that speaks a lot about when Ambassador was sharing that peace and security is the prerequisite for the economic cooperation. So Kazakhstan has presented a model to move forward towards peace, to solve the conflicts, and It also expresses that Kazakhstan has no designs against anyone, emphasizing the significant potential for diversification and building up a multifaceted partnership. The event was also attended by the representatives of leading expert circles and the media community. The embassy expressed special gratitude to Mr. Tazeen Akhtar for assistance in organizing and holding the event. Report Tazeen Akhtar, Ascar News, Islamabad.